Now let me start off by saying I adore Red Dead Redemption 2, okay? It is one of the most sincere and honest games I've ever played. Its story is simply among the best, not just in games, but in media in general. It's filled with so much detail and narrative goodness and a long ass list of stuff to appreciate. Now with all that being said, sometimes I like this more.
What's up, boys?
I don't mean to bring any one of them down to show how good the other is, but sometimes I find myself leaning more towards liking RDR1's story more. And let me tell you this. It's because of how goddamn nasty this game is, like, damn! It is dark as shit, but in an extremely disgustingly funny way, you know? And I wanna jump straight into the point. I will explain what I mean by talking about what is probably my favorite mission in the entire game. Lucky in Love. And boy, let me tell you, there is nothing lucky nor lovely about this mission. And the fact that it's titled that makes me appreciate Rockstar's humor that much more. Before we continue though, I just want to give a quick shout out to my friend Aditya, who recorded all the Red Dead Redemption 1 footage that you're gonna see in this video. So without him, this video wouldn't have been possible. Thank you, I'll put a bunch of his stuff in the description. And yeah, let's get back into the video. So the mission starts out with John just casually walking into town to talk to Landon Ricketts, who is this character that is basically an infamous gunslinger in the RDR universe.
You kill peasants, you become a peasant.
And it happens to be that he's having the time of his life in a friendly game of poker.
Unlucky in love, lucky in cards.
Landon invites John to join in on the fun. John humbly declines, although he quickly changes his mind and agrees to play. One quick round isn't gonna hurt anybody. The people at the table aren't so happy about that, but you play, not talk. Play. So you sit down, you play the game of poker, you win, and then you're treated with this masterpiece of a cutscene.
You fucking cheat!
Excuse me?
You fucking looked in my fucking cards, you fucking cheat!
I cannot fathom how much I love this mission. Okay, so this extremely odd German guy who just so happens to be in Mexico for some reason. Okay, never mind, I looked it up. It makes sense for him to be here. Is playing cards and gambling with one of the most infamous gunslingers in the RDR universe and some lunatics, which I think he's friends with? We will get back to them later on. And he for no reason decides to accuse one of the most calm and collected people in the whole story of cheating. And he's pissed off about it, like he wants blood for it. Just imagine yourself walking by, minding your own business, and then suddenly you see this guy over there yelling,
You fucking cheat!
and then he pulls out his gun like 10 seconds later. You wonder, like, what the fuck is up with him? Randomly wants to kill somebody over a game of poker.
He's done you no harm, Muller.
He's done me no good either!
But anyways, you duel him and you win.
I got my eye back. Old Muller always did play his cards too early.
The funny German guy dies over some silly cards and a pot that is apparently worth his life. A human soul gone that simply. It's fucking stupid ass Rockstar. Okay, so you sit down again at the table, you have a drink, and oh yeah, by the way, do you remember those lunatics I mentioned earlier?
You, the man they call Marston, see? You like killing? Watch me cut her throat.
As if one angry dumbass was not enough, in comes this other Mexican guy and he's holding an innocent lady hostage with a knife to her throat.
Watch me cut her throat.
And I especially like John's quick sarcastic reply here.
Nice friends you got here, Mr. Ricketts.
So now you have to shoot him, otherwise, you know, this lady who just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time will die. Killing him, however, triggers a shootout with the rest of Mueller's friends. So because of one game of poker, which keep in mind, John originally did not want to participate in, 7 people died. People be like, why haven't aliens made contact with us? Meanwhile, the slightest human disagreement.
No more cards game.
Watch me cut her throat.
And that's it, the mission ends at that point. And if you've noticed, it's not really connected to the overarching narrative of the game. John just walks in and shit happens. It's just simply a really good palate cleanser mission that's made for fun. And again, it's great. So now it's time for me to do some talking about the tone of Red Dead Redemption. See, it's good to have a deep and heartfelt narrative about a man seeking redemption after his mentor betrayed him in a world that doesn't look kindly on the likes of him anymore. But oftentimes you wanna also see some randomly funny shit, which is present in Red Dead Redemption 2, but you know, more so here. The Mexican peasant throwing up in front of 2 poor women, the marshal coming to be the voice of reason, and the knight in shining armor only to...
What's going on here?
And Irish just being Irish.
I was real drunk last time I was here, John. You know how it is. I met an American guy. Saw him shoot a man. Drank with him in the village of Chuparosa. Funny guy. Or was that Canada?
Even though the story is incredibly good with its seriousness, those are some of the most memorable cutscenes in the entire game. Both RDR1 and 2 contain a character that is parody of the drunk Irishman, and although at face value they seem to serve the same purpose, both narratively and personality-wise, they turn out to be quite different. One is clearly more of a stereotype than the other, and it shows because he's literally called Irish.
Oh, these horses look fresher. Woo! And healthy.
And I think this is basically it. Red Dead Redemption 1 surrounds John by idiots, liars, scumbags, and fools that are all based off or inspired by real-life stereotypes. The sneaky lying oil salesman, the drunken Irish, the grave-digging nutcase. God knows how these two became lawmen. Plus the marshal. Meanwhile, I would say Red Dead Redemption 2, while it uses the same Rockstar formula of, parodying the real world, it does it to a lesser extent, and instead it takes itself more seriously. Arthur isn't surrounded by maniacs, but rather just normal people that you can actually believe lived in that era. Some of them are obviously a bit unusual in the head, but it's not as bad as John,
Well, you'll have the honor of...
Man, another patriot?
I personally think that out of all Rockstar's games, Red Dead Redemption 1 struck the perfect point between seriousness and satirical humor. The game makes you laugh all the time, but it doesn't take away from the story. In fact, some of the humor is over stuff that is actually quite depressing. Like that one cutscene with the cannibal. Fellas got to eat! And you laugh at that, but then you remember, oh shit, this guy actually killed a bunch of people and ate them, and now he's about to do it again. Or I guess the best way to put it, that you feel steel. Whoa, let's do the yapping over here. You still feel devastated over John's death and Jack becoming the same man as his father basically, despite all the ridiculousness that had happened throughout the whole story. Now the video's over, you can leave. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed, but I got one more thing to say about GTA 6 and the future of Rockstar. One nice thing Rockstar has going for it is that they keep shifting their tone consistently with every release. The result of that is that we end up with different games for whatever mood we're in that you can play at any time. Like what I discussed in the video, where you have the disgusting and no regards for human life Red Dead Redemption 1 that also has a lot of humor in it, and the more sincere and depressing yet peaceful Red Dead Redemption 2. And again, that's a really good trait that Rockstar has. Although I have to say, humor can simply sometimes not land. I liked the GTA 6 trailer, but I also thought that it's too over the top, and the focus on social media is personally not my thing. I just really hope that Rockstar doesn't overdo it with their writing or humor and manages to hit that perfect balance that, in my opinion, Red Dead Redemption 1 hit between satirical humor and seriousness. Or I don't know, another Red Dead 2 styled game would be amazing, or a new thing entirely. Again, this is all obviously pre-release talk, so I can't judge the game up until it releases. Now with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I thank you for watching.